everybody else is going to tap the roof for you, so I'll do it on this, and you can hear how solid it really is. There's no tin or pinging noise that you'll get from the other cars. It's just a nice solid sounding roof, which is good because you guys don't want to have to listen to something going ping, 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 ping every time you're in a hailstorm or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you can drop your window. Music test. So we measure that to be about a 20 decibel sound difference, which is pretty sizable. That's like the difference between having earphones on and taking them off. Florida. Perfect. So you get to, we'll stay here for just a second.
Okay.
You got to see kind of, you didn't really get into ABS, so we didn't really get to see our brake assist. But had we gotten into it, we would have seen the car would have stayed dead level. Right? It'll engage more of the rear brakes to keep the front end from dipping down, which is nice. That's exactly what we want, because the more contact patch you have to the road, the better braking you're going to have. Makes sense. You can go on ahead. So we've got a little handling section here, and you get to kind of play around with the CF rack, as well as our 4-link rear suspension. And you'll notice how confident the car feels coming through the bends, how precise the turn-in is. You're not working too hard. Alright, we'll coast right here, and then we'll come to a complete stop, but we'll hold it for a couple minutes. So, we did a couple of things there. As soon as we started to coast, we started to use our regenerative braking, right, which we're all pretty familiar with from Malibu Hybrid, from Tahoe Hybrid, and from Volt, right? The other thing we did was that we went into active fuel management. Just like we have on Silverado, you guys have been explaining this during the breakouts. We shut off the fuel pump in this car, rather than shut off 4 cylinders. We only have 4 cylinders, so we just shut off the entire engine. It'll sit there in freewheel so that we have oil pressure running through it, and once you start kicking the pedal again, it'll give you power. Likewise, when we're in auto stop like we are now, all of our electrical functions are maintained on via our 115 volt battery, and we're running our transmission oil pump as well, which keeps fluid running through the transmission so that when you start the engine back up, you're good to go immediately. So if you were to just sit there and kick the pedal, you'd be going immediately, within 0.3 seconds of you hitting the pedal. Okay, go for it. Got another little handling section here, some larger radius turns. Really just to show you so that if you came to a stop sign, it would drop down quite immediately, and then as soon as you start up again, it'll get going. We've got a couple of bumps up ahead, so you can feel what it's like going over bumps. How refined it feels rather than our competitors, which will feel rather jagged and annoying. Awesome. Alright, who's next?
Go ahead.